Hello, everybody. It's
turn.
time for the Great Ace Attorney to resolve. We're back, baby. It's like we never left.
Not for long, we aren't.
Oh, shit. All right, game gonna pop up? Okay, there we go. 23rd February, 11:32 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber.
Ah, there he is. Right off the cuff, huh? Joyful, jubilant, jumpin' jack. Oh, Mr. Natsume, I'm so pleased for you. Why are we happy? What happened?
We maybe have another person who did it. I don't know. He hasn't said yet. We just showed up and he's like, oh, fuck yeah.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. And non-locum judicial assistant, Miss Vikatova Esquiress?
Yep.
That's nothing.
That's not
That's not nothing, dude. You can just say Esquire. I don't think it's a gendered term. What a freak. Can we kill this guy with hammers?
I don't know, man. He's shown up a lot more often than I would have assumed.
Like,
did they license his appearance or something, so they had to get the most out of him? I don't know.
I was like, he shows up far more than how good he is. Like, he is not the kind of character that you could be like, yeah, we have like
Butts
3
was in
characters.
literally every trial.
It's like if Mo, the clown, kept showing up.
His bit's just not that good.
Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent, and proof that my tea is innocent.
Ah, good morning, my dear fellows.
Ah, Herlock Sholmes! May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent.
I thought the tea was innocent.
I'll kill him. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. You notice I paused there because I knew you would. How wonderful.
Me after I jerk off Herlock Schultz.
Yeah?
Please, save your derision. I know what you all think.
Just said the whole thing, huh?
Good morning, he says, when it's very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. Nobody
Then why
said
do you
or
keep
thought
doing it,
anything
man?
of the sort. The truth is,
What's your problem, bro?
The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, I thought, tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not?
Oh, yes.
And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep, I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not
I've decided to never sleep again. I've increased my cocaine habit. And
I feel like that's what he's about to say. Is that not an astute insight into the matter?
Oh, yes.
Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink all night. And the results? By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Shocking. And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What others presuppose, I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. I guess. Ah, yes, and one more thing. Do you remember this? Poison.
The
Yes,
rat
of course.
drank
It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh,
The
you
rat
didn't manage
got
to...
into it.
It was a laborious task as the bottle was near empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder Sholmes.
That's right, I drank the last drop myself.
I managed to confirm it contained strychnine. So I was right.
Aha.
Perhaps. Of course, such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now, but licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. Wasn't going to, but thanks. The bottle of poison has been entered into the court record.
Trust me, I tried it. Right, and I was 27 hours into being awake, and that bottle looked mighty good.
Called out to me like a goblin mask.
Like,
Could I have a word?
what do you mean by that? Have you ever seen Spider-Man? Sam Raimi. See, I don't like this sentence.
This is me. Gregson, how good of you to come.
Me when I jack up.
Thanks.
Oh, dude, he just fucking Michael Jackson fucking moonwalked. He fucking hit the hat and just faded. Holy shit. That was awesome. Forget it. Excuse me.
Wait a minute, Inspector.
I wish to make a nuisance of myself.
From the look on your face, I'd say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please speak freely. Pretend that I'm not here.
I do that a lot. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me. Do you have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Shamspeare's room? Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. I'm here about something else. The dead convict, actually.
Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shamspeare's room? Thanks for the reminder.
That was a long sentence. A man by the name of... Ah, yeah. Oh, dude, look at that little picture. Selden was a fucking wide boy.
Hell yeah.
My god,
Fucking...
he's shaped like an egg. Man
Bro
by the
looking
name
like
of...
Kingpin.
Ah, yes. Selden. Went through the archives at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that... Well, it caught my eye. Something caught your eye? What, Inspector? What? I've copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read for yourselves.
Thank you. The capital offender's file has been entered into the court record.
Kind of wild that Gregson's the most helpful detective in any of these games, and he, like, hates us. Like, the most.
Hates our guts. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester's Strange Ways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He's been suffering with fever ever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out.
Speedrun strats.
Oh, that was the newspaper article. I'm like, surely that wasn't it. No. Investigative filings related to Selden. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder. That's quite a bit. Died of natural causes, was in prison. His final minutes witnessed only by his cellmate. The estimated £1,000 worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Manchester Straight. Wait a minute, this is the same thing I just read. Okay. He handed us a newspaper clipping we already had.
Well, it must be something else, right?
Yeah.
These documents include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information.
Thanks.
I hope you didn't waste time checking it right before I did that.
Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though?
Well, you're the ones that turned up that clue at that place, aren't you? Just making sure things get handled in proper fashion.
Thanks, pal.
Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful.
Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. A shining diamond. In the rough, maybe. Alright, hey. Calm down.
That is weirdly mean.
Kind of mean, Naruto.
Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all.
Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the courtroom at once. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening in with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Schultz. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in floods of tears personally, so best of luck to you. Ah.
Welcome, student Mr. Naruto Esquire.
Yes, Mr. Natsume?
It's time, isn't it?
Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspeare. This is going to be the final battle. I won't really have saved Taseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to.
I mean, you don't have to.
You should. You should do your best. We'll see how it goes. 23rd February, 12:30 p.m. I can read the Old Bailey courtroom.
Well, what's that one you said that one time where you were like 21st or something? It was some shit like that.
You know.
Remember that? That was good. That was
I
good.
do.
That was a good bit. I say bit as though we did it on purpose. But you know.
Every time I speak, it's on purpose. It's a bit. every time.
So, I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes I give up on the judges halfway through the sentence.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, I get the emotional weight of it.
You get the gist, audience. You can read.
One person watches this that can't read. These
No.
fucking bastards.
Before the recess, we heard a most start.
Wait, my Judge Joey voice is off. Hold on, give me a second.
Mere noise, but British. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense,
Hey, fucko.
Hey, fucko.
namely that the victim of the case that we heard about here, only a few days ago, is the true perpetrator of this incident.
A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores.
Thank you.
Have I made my opinions of Japanese people evident yet?
For that
I
backhanded
am not being
consideration.
subtle.
Rather cold assessment from the Honourable British Prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Van Zeeks, is this new witness present and ready to direct the stand?
Don't thank him for his racism. You don't have to take that.
It's the only thing he knows. He's like, wow, this must be how British people are.
And he's right.
Ready and waiting in the witness's antechamber, my lord.
Very well, bailiff, bring the witness in.
Is she allowed to bring
There
her
she
whole
is.
painting shit?
Well, apparently.
Hmm?
Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court, please.
William Shamspeare, my liege. For mine occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim, to be pitied.
Currently unemployed, in other words. Okay, yeah, this is more ridiculous the more I look at it. They're like, yeah, she's like, yeah, I need to set up my easel and shit. What if it's in a kinky way, Mologai? Have you ever considered that? Hmm?
Perhaps. I'm of her.
I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, 9. Not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose. Also currently unemployed, in other words.
What a coterie.
Mr. Shamspeare,
My lord,
Number
I
5.
am thy humble servant.
I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, bent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you.
I would for naught else, my lord.
And Miss Green.
Yeah. Stupid.
I don't know why that one took me out.
I don't know either. Fuck.
Whew.
Dumb.
So,
Dumb.
occasionally
dumb
we just say something, you know?
brain. Yeah, it's fucking the one brain cell that we share bouncing between us like a ping pong ball.
Woo.
It just hits just right.
You are aware of the reason you've been summoned to the courtroom today, I presume?
The officer did explain. Ooh.
Haha!
He said I'm poison. This ridiculous buffoon.
And do you accept the charge, Miss Green?
Oh yeah, I did it. I don't know anything about any poison canoe. And I don't know anything about this man.
Come, lady, die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly, pea-pigmented personage.
Well, let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in the affair.
We're not ready to go into the depths of ethical race play discourse. What do you mean? That's not what you tune into two people playing Great Ace Attorney 2? Or whatever this is? Resolve?
No, that's the second one.
Solve it. Is it?
Yeah.
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 It's all yeah. It's it's all very strange indeed. Oh, I had another line.
Oops.
I barely ever go to the East End anyway. It so happens that I passed by the neighborhood 6 days ago. That's all. And on that night this man was poisoned, I was still in the hospital, fighting for my life.
Yeah, there is that also.
Yes. Having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garrett household. By being stabbed. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days. Still not sure how that knocked her out, but you know.
Shock, I guess.
Was struck in the middle of my back by a knife, through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion. What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing.
Your energy may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks off you, Miss Green.
At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened.
Oh no. The incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful incident?
Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspeare.
My shit!
Eh?
My
What-
poos?
But what happened 6 days ago has nothing to do with me being poisoned. Shamspeare was the first
So you
character
mean
to have
that
their
they got some
animations
guy to
done?
do...
That's incredible.
I hate that. I'm gonna pretend that that's a lie. I think you're lying to me because I don't want to think about a real person doing the Shamspeare dance.
The Shamspeare dance. The voice is getting
Let us
worse.
proceed.
Yeah, you're getting more annoying with it with each passing. I wasn't saying anything, but I was thinking it really hard.
Witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court. On the subject of the incident that took place on Broad Road the evening of the 17th of February.
I used that same voice for Flavio in 1,000 Year Tour.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They're essentially the same character. Did you finish that? How'd that go?
It was great. I had a real good time.
Ja. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh.
Trying to remember the number
It's
for
for
5.
6. Not for 6, but then I'd have to say sex, and I'm not gonna do that. I know what you little freaks are like. It was 6 days ago, at about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, how is she not getting paint on her face? It happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings.
I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper.
It was the first time I'd been in that area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all.
Well, we know that's a lie.
Anyway, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing of all this business. The second incident inside a week at what I believe to be aptly disguised as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume that this.
Oh God! Oh no! The judge voice. It's getting.
He's fighting back.
Getting me. I didn't fill up any water. I just have an empty cup. I'm such an asshole. We can do this.
One can only presume it is the most unfortunate coincidence.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspeare.
'Twas the following morn when I did awaken that I learned of the dire events.
That's
Mary,
how I feel every morning.
What a commotion did the officers of law make on the floor above mine? When Soseki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder.
As suspected, there is nothing connecting these two witnesses, but happenstance.
It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance, but I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here, I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it.
Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish.
Nah.
Nope.
Nah, I don't feel like
I declared the trial over.
Yes, my lord. Just... Alright, so I believe... Let me check our evidence here, but I'm pretty sure we have the information about her fiance living at that address, did we not?
I thought we did. We have the picture of him and Garrett.
Yeah, it's like we know it, but I don't know what we have that would prove it? Question mark?
Yeah.
The rest of the envelope could not be located. What do you mean? We found the rest of the envelope. Why don't we have it? Okay. Maybe we do some pressing and see what's up.
Yeah, I think you just started.
I don't think we have anything definitive right now. Hold it! Hold it! I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. When I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested.
Yes, the incident has been resolved already.
What if we find out that not only was it not like a knife dropped on her by accident, but fucking Shamspeare stabbed her?
That'd be really funny. I'd also mean that the moon-faced lady or the sun-faced lady has been in prison
for like a week.
For like a crime she did not commit. Which would be very A-team, I guess.
I guess. She busts out and pities the fool.
Oh no, it's B.A. Baracus. Did you know the B.A. stood for badass?
Yeah, it kicks ass.
Were you aware? That was Mr. T. He sells... Does he do anything anymore, actually? I was gonna say, he was selling things on TV for a while. That thing, you know, a thing that actors do.
Yeah, you know that thing
like,
that
I'm Chuck Norris.
Like Shaq does that a lot these days. Shaq has got his giant fingers in a lot of pies.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like Shaq. He always makes me smile.
I hope we never find out Shaq did anything bad. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, I hope so too. I own a Shaquille O'Neal chair because I got a great deal on it at Office Max. Office Max. Wait, I don't have to plug Office Max. Alice doesn't. That's right.
Doesn't work there anymore. The store closed.
Right. Don't go to Office Max. I rescind anything good I was gonna say. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with your awakening and should now be forgotten. Yeah, I suppose. Dankeschön.
But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case.
The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. I was just walking along the pavement.
It only happened to be just outside the house where the men have their lodgings. Hold it! What were you doing there that day, though?
What do you mean?
The art school you attend. What's it called?
Yeah. It's the Thorndyke Academy of Fine Arts.
Good old Taffa.
P.U.
Good old P.U.
According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is 10 stops away from the scene on the Underground.
I believe
So
you
not
mentioned...
close.
No. I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road, isn't that right? So why, then, would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End?
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's a hunch.
Hmm?
Wow.
Impressive.
It's because, oh yeah, of course. I thought it might make a nice picture. The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas. So, that's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term.
I love how shit that part of town looks.
That part is
Like
so
it would collapse at a
garbage.
strong breeze.
Did you know they bricked up all the windows because of this window time?
The point is, she's definitely hiding something.
You don't say. Yes, it seems like she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth.
She's trying to hide why she was there that evening. Must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shamspeare, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago? Would you tell the court what exactly you were doing? 'Twould be my pleasure, sire. Excuse me. Just kind of choked on that one.
Yeah, you really strangled that one out of yourself.
A tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End.
And a little unexpected, I feel.
Hmm? What do you mean, Lord Van Zeeks?
The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining for the locality. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room.
Ah!
It's true, the menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness.
Huh?
I would have expected grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate here.
I'm glad Van Zeeks is taking this fucking opportunity to just dunk on him.
So, he's like, it's like Shamspeare said, yes, I did my shopping at Walmart. And fucking Van Zeeks was like, you don't have Walmart money.
What are you talking about?
Like that's the level we're talking about. He's like, you couldn't afford a place with crusts of bread and different cloudiness in the water. watery soup and mushy peas. Or rather, soupy water and pea like mush.
All equally appetizing.
British cuisine.
I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Oh, I'm actually with him on this one. Sometimes water is shit.
Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. Specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment.
Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days he dined at a place he wouldn't normally, it does stand out. Oh, wait. Somebody, I think Olive said something about having to meet somebody someplace who might have information about her fiance's death. I don't know. It's been like a month. So Mr. Shamspeare's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious.
No, Walmart is not expensive. That's what I'm saying here is Van Zeek said you can't afford the place that has like cloudy levels of water, which is already like a shithole. He's saying you can't afford a shithole. You would have to afford even less. So yes, Target is more expensive than Walmart. But like we're talking like Walmart and down here.
Yeah, we don't have any evidence right now, I don't think. Not at the moment. We don't have anything. I wish we did, but sadly I can't think of anything at the moment.
If we find a clue that could explain why Mr. Shamspeare went there, we must present it to the court.
Yes, absolutely.
If that's so on this matter, Counsel, I would ask Miss Green to reiterate her statement.
I haven't been in the area. I mean, I know that's a lie, but we'll press.
It's because she's a sad little German boy, Mulligan.
Yeah. What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
It was nothing, really. It's not even worth mentioning. What's lower than Walmart or Dollar Store? Yeah, like Dollar General is worse than Walmart.
Yeah. If you remember, you
Not
mentioned
much cheaper, weirdly, but it's bad.
Yeah, it might as well be, Mulligan. I don't know if you've seen. There's an excellent Last Week Tonight piece on Dollar General and Dollar. What's the other one?
I love John Oliver.
About how they basically just don't
Family
have
Dollar?
enough employees and their stores look like shit all the time because of it.
You could also prove that by going into any of them.
That's true.
I used to work at one. Yes, is my answer.
If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital.
Oh.
It was related to the card you were holding. Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back. And that rat is alive. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
What does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan.
Oh yeah? Excuse me.
That noise was crazy.
That was a wild sound. Mr. Shamspeare,
What?
do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's word springeth from within me with ne'er a thought. Don't tell me. It's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps. Nay, sire, 'twas nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though, Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it were so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours.
Miss Green?
Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
The card that was mentioned before contains a note. You have it upon your person.
I do, yeah, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really.
Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please.
Yeah, just toss it in the trash can. Here you go. Hope that
If you
was
huck it real hard, you could land it in the fire right behind me.
Note number that seems to have been ripped open rather roughly contains instructions to meet someone who claims to have information about Duncan Ross. Of course, that's what links Mr. Shamspeare and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross.
Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green.
Straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business. First time I'd been in the area. No, it isn't. They're actually... Oh, can we... Oh, hold on, wait. The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. Ah.
What is it?
The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen that exact shape somewhere else.
Oh, you don't mean... Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Narhado?
Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up. As we put together a fucking puzzle in the middle of court. We have to wait a second.
They go together perfectly. This torn-off end of the envelope clearly belongs to this card.
Miss Green's card. So this is actually we found the torn part in Shamspeare's
room.
So this was a note for him. Updated in the court record. All right, and I don't think we can actually click on anything else here. So, and then we. Yep. Little much to attend to. That's all. Oh yeah. Well then, why was this?
Objection.
No, the music didn't stop. That was wrong. You know. Yeah. Bad. Did bad. I know. I made a bit of a mess of that in a number of ways, actually.
In a number of ways.
Tavern with so I bespoke my supper. So, oh yeah, they did say specifically, like, hey, this is the reason. It's weird that it doesn't say what's in the note.
Objection.
No, that wasn't it either, okay? Undeniably. Yeah, alright. I'm thinking too far ahead. We need to step back a second.
We need to step back a little.
2 in a row is painful. Makes me feel very stupid. Alright, at the tavern, we pressed all of these. Oh, step in the back. I guess we technically didn't make it to the end of this one, because we did the interruption partway through.
Hold it.
Skip through the early part of this. Oh, wait, this is different text.
This is new,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yes, you didn't regain consciousness until the day after the trial, did you? In the early hours.
Exactly. So how could I have had anything to do with it? And yet you still haul me in here to court like this, honestly. So at the time of the poisoning, the witness was unconscious in her hospital bed. Could there be a more airtight alibi, I ask you? Dead.
She could have been dead, that's true.
And yet, in spite of that, you claim that I was the culprit.
Well,
But you certainly haven't produced any evidence to support your vile claim, have you? None at all. There you have it. The good lady has yet to see evidence, my learned Nepalese friend.
I'm working on it.
Comes a while we'll point out that here that the jury's next decision will be final.
Really up against the wall here.
Oh, Mr. Narhado, you pursued Mr. Shamspeare wonderfully there.
Worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. All right, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere.
Well, where? Where?
Every time.
Eventually, I'm gonna have so many phrases that I'll never speak like myself again. It'll just be like a combination of like, well, I see.
Yes.
Yes. I forgot I was needing to read. As you've wait. Hold on. Something's happening here.
Nope.
As you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that.
Ah, yes, of course. And yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Thank you, game. So let's press this again, see if this gives us something new. A tavern, you say? Which, nope, hold on, this is the same.
I like that bling, bling, bling.
Ah, we do have evidence. Now we have, I see, I forgot.
I see.
Mr. Shamspeare. Yes, sire? On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakest. Very well, I will present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely...
Take that!
Take that!
Take that.
The music didn't stop. Okay, there we go. I'm like, wait, was I wrong? I believe this card reveals the answer.
Good lord! Miss Green's card, you mean?
That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamspeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Ah. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspeare? Well...
Excuse me. Can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green?
That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it?
Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I?
May you what, Miss Green?
I'd like to make something very clear about the card.
Very well then. You may amend your testimony to include details about that peculiar note.
Okay.
This note was delivered to me at my address. It has nothing to do with that odd man there.
Oh, yeah?
Objection!
Then what was this in his apartment? The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital.
Yeah, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is.
Oh! Oh! What do you mean?
Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope.
Oh, is it?
And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received.
Where did you find that?
In Mr. Shamspeare's room.
Ah, in my room?
Eh?
Wait a minute. Ah!
Hold
oh.
on.
Mr. Shamspeare, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere?
Well...
Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions of the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspeare. You already knew about this note, didn't you? No.
That's a
you,
face that says,
Mr.
I'm fully innocent. What did I do?
As this torn off end of the envelope proves,
Of the element.
the note was originally in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession?
I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all.
There is only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspeare's room and stole it. You stole fizzy lifting drinks.
You get nothing.
You did
You
what?
lose.
Sorry,
What?
thou hast what? You broke... thou were in my room? What on earth do you want with me?
The character breaking's actually pretty good, huh?
It's like, what the fuck? What is thou fuck do? Huh?
You fucking, stupid.
Wench?
Forsooth. He should just go with Trollop. That's a classic.
It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again.
Miss Green. Yeah? Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure for the suffering you've endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Yeah, I know.
Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received.
Southern American accent whenever he breaks character. Perhaps. The anomaly of the note.
I do remember now. 'Twas a week ago, peradventure, that the note was delivered unto me. On the day writ therein, I did tarry an hour long at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished.
Oh, sure you did, bud. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room? Do you? Why would I? I can point to the villain here. As that turn-off piece of envelope, I don't know anything about it.
You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamspeare?
Faith, 'tis so, my lord. And I would swear to have it set upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it.
Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony is
A lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying.
But I beg your pardon?
I'm just a fledgling artist, and as I said, fledgling artists don't lie.
Is that a thing?
That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar is around here.
I mean, not incorrect, I suppose. If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shamspeare's room.
I don't see why I should explain.
Sorry?
Excuse me? I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is to just share what happens, that's all. It's your job to give the explanation and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer.
A fledgling will do his best.
Evidently, my learned Nepalese... I'm
You
adding
added it
that
in.
Nepalese now. My brain's... Oh, no. No. I'll never be able to say learned in a Dracula voice without...
Without it sneaking out of you. He's invading your brain. He's in your walls.
Get out of my head! Get out of my head! Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth.
Well, counsel,
I'm ready, my lord.
very well then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shamspeare's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note.
Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one. Cross-examination. The anomaly of the note. Peradventure. Hold it! And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all?
Nay, sire, 'tis as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine own, verily, 'tis impenetrable.
But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him, didn't you?
No!
Alack, if the choices were betwixt I knew him and I knew him not, then 'twas with foreboding that I be forced to declare that we were by some small measure acquainted.
Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Presumably that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature.
Marry, naught will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. So 'tis true, I was compelled by my own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end, my curiosity was not satiated.
They returned to tarry an hour, a long hour. Hold it! So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared?
Well, yes, sire, 'tis as thou sayest.
Really? You paused for a moment before you answered.
In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall.
Really? You mean to tell the court that someone did appear after all?
I was not alone that night at the Slug and Salad, my lord, no. 'Tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to almost clear water and my innards to a premium crust of bread. And all around me danced a great many companions.
What do you mean?
Flies, sire, flies.
Why waste our time, man? Why waste our time?
Why
with any of
bother?
this?
Good Lord!
In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a Midsummer Night's Dream, come to taunt me.
I think they were just flies.
I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me? No,
No.
it's perfect.
Evening I shared company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note and vanished.
When exactly did you notice it had gone missing?
Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas.
In other words, you didn't notice.
Several days have passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room.
Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime within this interval.
Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas.
Yet during that time, Miss Green was comatose in the hospital, was she not? Clearly, then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shamspeare's room.
Yeah, of course.
So she must have not been unconscious in the hospital, I guess.
It's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't that right, Mr. Prosecutor? You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation to how you came by the note. I am not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story.
I appreciate that he has that principle, at least. It's like, well, you're clearly lying, so what's the fuck is up with that?
You would do well to remember that. Oh, dearie me.
What's Lord Van Zeek's getting at? What do you mean, what's he getting at? She's lying, clearly. I mean, why would be that picture, but we don't technically have anything relating that picture to her evidence-wise. That's just something that Ryunosuke knows. But it's not it's not a piece of evidence, so I can't present it. It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare about 1 week ago.
Oh, does it?
But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings.
Objection!
Oh.
Objection!
But for what reason would the witness have done that?
I
won't deny that Miss Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless. Miss Green could only have come to be in possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing.
What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though?
Yes, we should pursue that idea, Mr. Naruto.
We're close now. I can feel it. We're so close to a breakthrough. I think we still have one more statement to press, don't we? Yes. Hold it! So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it? Whoa, how'd she do that? She tilted her fucking easel. No, that's not what it's called. The paint
palette.
Mix board palette. Yeah, that's probably
Palette.
it. She tilted the
What do
palette
you mean,
and it
probably?
disappeared.
I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters.
Introverted? Fie! This fledgling doth readily cast aspersions about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song. The wind doth frolic on my wing. Oh, pity, wherefore dost thou accuse one so pure of heart, ample woman?
They had to mocap that, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, just letting that sink in.
He's still going. Bro is wiggling.
He's grooving, dude. He's in the Fortnite default dance. They stole that from Scrubs. Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see you're just a failure.
Tragedy, thou shalt not know the... Wow, I just lost that one completely. Let me try again. Tragedy, thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days, oh, the years, alas, to enlighten thee, thou must wait so long and in vain.
Mr. Naruto, interject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine.
I'm no Shakespearean actor, Miss Susato. Now, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument...
It's evidence, yes. It's clear that Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Shamspeare's room, isn't it? Well, that's where she found this letter.
Yes, 2 more or less foregone conclusions that lead me to one terrifying conclusion.
Terrifying.
Yes, I'm afraid to say that the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. Okay, so it's something on that last one, I guess. Don't know anything about it. Bottle position. I don't know what I'm supposed to present here, though. Yeah, because this just says, together with a young man. It doesn't even name him.
It doesn't. We don't know who. We do, but we don't.
Oh, that's not helpful. Oh, that's also not helpful. I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. I don't think it's any of this stuff. I think he's telling the truth about these things. So it's got to be one of her things. But I don't know what to present here other than the picture. Don't know. I might have to look this one up, I'll be honest. Like, I'm logically stuck unless you have something that I'm not thinking of.
Have we pressed everything?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I guess not. I'll double check.
Hold it!
But it's one of her things, and I think we pressed both of these. Yes, we did.
Objection!
That we have to present something about what she's saying, like, why would I? And the only thing I can come up with is the picture. So I guess we can try that, because like we know that Duncan Ross was her. No, that's not it. Yep. Genuinely not sure.
Are you sure you pressed everything?
Yeah, because we stuck. Nope, that's the same one.
Objection!
Yeah.
Objection. And we're not like in a weird conversation tree that we can back out of, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, because we went into this, and the only thing they basically just went back and forth going, nuh-uh. And then Susato was like, the only way we're gonna end this argument is evidence. We just don't know.
All right. Well, what did you press all of his things?
I think so. Yes. Well, at least this one. I will check the other two just to be sure. Because I know we learned about the fucking flies.
Mm-hmm. Flies.
Beelzebub, yeah.
Hold it!
Then he did notice the note vanished, and that's everything we have.
Hold it!
Nope. I meant to press the evidence button so I could look at what we've got.
Objection!
Yeah, I was saying we're just gonna have to go through the court record again.
All right. Let's look at some evidence. It's our attorney's armband now. I don't think it has anything to do with these secondhand books. That would be insane.
No, I don't think so.
We've got a map.
I don't think that's useful.
Yeah. Got the envelope. She's saying she doesn't know anything about it, which, like, is obviously a lie. But we don't know, like, I don't think just presenting the envelope is going to be like, but you had it. Because she's just going to go, nuh-uh, which she already did.
It might be. But it's definitely not the soap or the teacups.
No.
Is there anything useful in the pictures?
I don't think so. I did not spot anything obvious.
I don't think so. Not this one, anyways.
Oh, you know what? We were overthinking it. I think. We've got this bottle of poison with strychnine, and we know he was strychnine poisoned. We do actually know why she went in there. She went in there to fucking poison him.
Oh, that's what you mean. I thought you were still talking about the envelope.
No, yeah,
Well, yeah, obviously she
we
went
were
in there to
overthinking
poison
it.
him. Did you
Yes.
look that up, or did you just remember that?
No, I looked it up.
I was gonna say, you suddenly said it so quickly, and I was like, oh, you looked it up on the side. I could hear your little keys clacking.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not quiet. All right, window closed. Don't need any more than that. I think we're good. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle, and though the contents spilt during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. According to the defense's independent analysis, you ain't sleek. I'm not. I've never been.
Steven is about the most opposite of sleek.
I don't try to
Someone
be.
could be.
TBA.
Or slick, even.
According to the defense's independent analysis, Mr. Sholmes' chemistry set, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine.
Yeah, but I would say that it was less us overthinking and more of us thinking that we needed to prove she had the envelope when we were not at all dealing with the envelope.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously she went in there to poison him. Like, we knew that.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that's what we were trying to prove at this stage.
Oh, visual
Strychnine?
novels.
The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspeare.
Not even true, Molo guy.
There's no way that wasn't a nightmare.
I was bullied into it. I was talking to
Yeah.
Brett about it, and she threatened to tell if I didn't. Ah? Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room with poison. Insane, I know. He's
That's
like,
what happened.
she fucking did what?
Can this be?
You broke into my room to... It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there is only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green. Oh God.
She's dead.
She's dead.
We just killed her.
I'm seriously suggesting that this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with the intent to kill.
Seems like there'd be a more
Yes.
surefire way to do that. Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts.
Well, Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago. The victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as expected. The attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely.
Well, that's a very good point.
Perhaps not, my lord.
Huh?
Beg your pardon?
Huh? I didn't do that one. That was automatic.
There was well, yeah, I got it anyways. You're good, you're good. There was a significant police presence in the area that evening, on account of the incident on Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of this ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time.
Lord Van Zeeks.
And of course, the following morning there was more activity at Mr. Shamspeare's address.
More activity. Ah, yes! We were there! You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder?
That's right. And as the defense has already proposed.
I love once in a while they remind us that Susato is also here. Like, at the bench.
They just pan a little bit. Mr. Shamspeare was meddling with the gas pipe in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant.
But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police.
And also, he wasn't in there.
Yeah.
So, like...
In the circumstances, Mr. Shamspeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe.
His intended victim being in the prison cell. With the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant. And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again.
Right. Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end.
A trial in which this man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back, but was duly acquitted.
That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out and Mr. Shamspeare was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe had been put into the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Mary!
Look at the box.
With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan.
What plan?
Oh, to get him out of the house. The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the Slug and Salad at 5 o'clock, and that the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear.
To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time.
To make sure I wasn't home.
Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed.
You mean to say that letter
Was written by Miss Green, yes. And in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room.
Order, order. What do you have to say for yourself, witness?
Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me?
Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial.
Selden. So, that's what's behind all this. Zinx is like, I figured this out. Okay. Crazy.
You share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Which person is behind this woman's motive for attack on the victim's life?
That would be Duncan Ross.
It's Duncan.
Take that, and if it's not, we've got one more shot.
Duncan Ross.
That's right. Before the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took up residence in the lodgings at Mr. Garrett's, somebody else was renting the room. Mr. Duncan Ross.
I knew I'd heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago, when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodging.
That does ring a vague. Oh, yes, of course, I remember now. The young man they claimed was strangled by the convict's curse or some such.
Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamspeare blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple.
Ah! I'm getting scared of what face she's gonna be making when she turns around.
The little German boy is no longer sad.
Now the German boy is evil.
I read this. Did that not come through?
Some of it.
Oh. I guess I was too quiet. The world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths. That's all people care about. If it's an interesting story they want to know, it doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. And once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him.
You mean you... Duncan was... Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamspeare. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry. Marry?
I get it.
Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamspeare, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe?
This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel?
Yeah, I don't actually
Yes.
remember what crime we're...
This is Mr. Natsume.
Yeah.
Is the defendant in this.
I know. I'm like, wait. I forgot what crime we're actually defending. It's the poisoning.
Each on different counts of murder?
Well, only attempted for Miss Green.
Yes, my lord. That's correct.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken in a lungful of dubious gas that's causing his judgment to be clouded. You're on the weed smoke!
What?
You were in that weed cave with the little German boy. Why would Mr. Shamspeare have wanted to kill these lodgers, as you say? Selden, you have completely
Selden.
failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusation against the man.
We're getting there. Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I have been slighted. 'Tis lies, all lies. I deny every utterance.
And you'll have to forgive me, Mr. Narhador, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either.
Miss Green.
I'm sure you'll think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel.
Well, you only did attempted murder. They don't kill you.
You only
for
did
that.
attempted. I'm pretty sure they don't kill you for that.
Objection! But you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe, what was your reason?
I thought I'd have a look around, that's all.
Uh-huh.
But
Sorry?
you've never been curious? You've never been walking down the street and saw a house and gone, man, if this was Skyrim, I could just walk into that house.
I could just go in there. And they'd be
Yeah,
like,
I
who are
just-
you? Why are you in my house?
Why are you in my house? You're right, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something inside his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life.
Oh vileness, oh villainy, oh tyranny, oh rotundity of woman. Wow.
Little mean.
Well, mean. But in any case, whenever I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock.
That whole place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door with some terps and a piece of wire.
Oh awfulness, oh artfulness, oh tyranny, oh profanity of woman.
We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion. But for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed. Well, I spotted the note I sent him lying on the floor. And when I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it, I discovered a secret hiding place.
Eh?
Under the floorboards, I found you. A dangling participle.
Classic.
I haven't thought about that in a hot moment.
Yes, we also discovered that hiding place.
Inside, we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Bet there was something in the tin box.
Bet there was something in the tin box.
Yes. Well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty.
What? There was something in it?
Yeah.
A key.
This key. This rather... Look at that little smile.
Ah! What are you doing with that? How bad did that blow out the mic?
Pretty bad. I kind of just stopped registering anything.
What the?
Every ounce of color is drained from his face.
Give it here!
There was
Give it to
much
me
there.
now! It's mine! I inherited it!
What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it.
No, what's all this about? He inherited that key?
It was obviously important to you, since you'd gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care.
Give it back this minute! Give it to me!
Calm yourself, witness.
So Mr. Shamspeare has tried, and in one case succeeded, to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shamspeare, at first.
But at second.
But considering everything we know now, I think there actually is something that could explain it.
What?
I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal. Everything we've seen and heard. Because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all of these events.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the
obviously.
the treasure.
Yeah, it's
So-
Seldon, the treasure. The
So
One Piece is real.
Was Shamspeare the cellmate then, I guess? I thought he just knew about it. I guess
It was either Shamspeare or Duncan that was the cellmate.
Yeah,
I assume it was Shamspeare?
that makes more sense narratively.
Because, like, I assume the guy was... Either Shamspeare either killed the guy in prison, or while the guy was dying went, here's my key. You just gotta
I
go
left-
and get into this room.
I left all of my treasure in one piece.
In one piece.
In that case, counsel, I must demand that you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is there you can explain about Hamlet's crimes?
It's the big stack, I assume, right?
The file, or yeah, because the newspaper got moved into this.
Yeah.
That's an official police report, is it not?
The Seldon file? How did you get a hold of that?
Selden?
We can't tell him Gregson gave it to us.
The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them. The fact that they had lodgings in the same room.
Well, yes, we know this, certainly.
A room that was formerly occupied by Seldon. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries.
I see.
And it so happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died.
The sum £1,000 worth of loot that he stole.
That's not even, like, I feel like we had this discovered, and that doesn't actually feel like a lot, but it's much more in old money.
Yes.
It was
It's
some
like
ridiculous number.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
It's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, we can do that again. Hold on. Bank of England inflation calculator. Yep, the link is still purple from the last time I did this. We said it was, what, 1900 was what we did last time?
Something like that.
Like right on the head, because that it should be about 102,000 pounds.
Yeah. Quite a bit.
So like a good chunk of change. It's not like millions, but I'm pretty sure people have died for less than $100,000.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that and pounds are worth more than,
Yeah.
American dollars. Which, as yet, remains to be found.
Ah, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in this file here.
1,000 pounds lost en route to hell. That was how the papers summed it up.
And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden entrusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret: the location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in.
You mean this key is...
Mr. Shamspeare, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? What are you talking about? 'Tis a false charge, I tell you, a false charge.
The name of the inmate who was with Selden at his death isn't noted in the file. But a simple telegram to the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is.
But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings?
There's only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that very room that Selden hid his loot.
So, it all comes out.
Yes, and having established
fact-
that...
That's what Lord Van Zeke says when he finishes jacking someone off.
Stupid.
Uh,
All of Mr. Shamspeare's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense.
maybe we should stop streaming entirely. Maybe we should quit. Really putting anything good out into the world anymore. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Gerdeb's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice.
Because Selden's old room had already been let to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross.
Which is why Mr. Shamspeare subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room.
However, a certain jittery someone had beaten him to it.
Mr. Soseki Natsume, the defendant of this case, no less.
So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamspeare? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason: to get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. Pff, oh god.
He's dead.
Bonk.
We got him. I like how it changes to that view. You can see he's not pointing at the defendant. He's just pointing across the fucking room.
Looks like I'm gonna snuff it before they get to stretch me neck. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's hidden in the room where I was lodging when they got me. Yeah, this is the key to it. They let me keep it in prison, take it.
I'll put it
Always
up my ass,
put it
I
up
did.
me arsehole. Stay one ahead, mate. See you in hell, I guess. Shamspeare. That's his real name? I assumed he was using a fake name.
Your name is stupid, by the way. But
It's mine. What did he just say? It's mine. That loot is mine.
When the bard needs to get his instrument back. Oh, hey, man.
Oh God, Mr. Shamspeare?
It's all
Dude is
lies.
wigging out.
I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen?
Bro is bugging.
If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me, for the time being anyway. Verily, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen?
He's the Joker, baby.
I'm the
I'm
Joker,
so close.
baby.
I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. Do you really think I'd just give up?
There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty through and through.
But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruto.
There is a way.
Pardon?
There's one way I can finish him.
No.
He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot, which means all we need to do is find it first.
A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there at all, it must be well hidden indeed.
Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule.
If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly.
This is the final piece in this complex puzzle, but I think we might have it in our possession already. Or rather, I think we may well have something that can help us find where that loot is hidden. My lord,
Yes, counsel?
the defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we are already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts.
Look,
It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it definitely paid off then.
Very well then, counsel. Let the court hear your idea. What do you propose we can use in order to locate the hiding place of the deceased convict's hall?
the handprint thingy,
Yeah.
obviously.
I don't think we have the actual thing, but we have the
I
prints.
assume the photo? Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that!
If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shamspeare's handprints on the walls of his lodgings.
That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense's independent investigation of the scene.
Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective, Mr. Sholmes.
A great detective? Is that some kind of
Look
joke?
Look at his stupid little face. Oh, I hate him.
Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title?
I should think the great... Nope. I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one, Mr. Shamspeare. I'm already here.
I'm next to you.
Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title.
You want to do
Ah!
cocaine?
'Tis Sherlock Sholmes himself.
What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are the filthy back streets of the capital, are they not?
Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since last we met. Mr. Sholmes, he does know Lord Van Zeeks then. Well enough to say something like that in any case.
Mr. Sholmes, though you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large, does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit. Death.
Death, donk. Executed on the spot, set on fire, as is the old way.
As in the old way.
Guards,
If I
roll
may,
a
my
trolley in here so we can put him in it and set it ablaze.
I need a big carriage.
If I may, my lord, Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us uncover vital clues in this case already.
Clues, you say?
I call them skin prints, my lord.
Everyone hates it, but I keep saying it.
My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. Your Honor, League of Legends. It's the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities. Ah! You need only a small sample of something an individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I used the teacup you had been holding. Elementary. I thought you weren't allowed to say that. So now, Mr. Nardo. Ah, yes? What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time? Thank you for offering to help, Mr. Sholmes. The convict was arrested. He was living in what is now Soseki-san's room. We need a sample to help locate Selden's loot that's hidden in his old room. What form will that sample take? I'm assuming present a person and we present Olive because she's got the key? I don't know that we have anything else that he's had.
Yes.
We will need something of Selden's in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. And something the convict owned happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the court record. Upon my word, Mr. Nardo, your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. So, which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain a possession of the late convict Selden to create the indicator solution?
Take that!
Olive Green.
Miss Green.
Me? What you want with me?
The key around your neck, if you please.
Sorry?
That key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on its surface that we can use. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used to rent. Ah! Mr. Shamspeare, as one great to another, I assure you. The late convict's hall is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings. I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes. Ah. So, Mr. Shamspeare, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth.
In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key.
No! Give the key to me! The detective
Fuck
shan't
you.
have it!
No.
It's over, Mr. Shamspeare. No. No. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt.
Confess.
Whoa.
Oh, Shamspeare, despair. Be thy name.
Holy shit.
How did he do that?
I don't know. Did somebody shoot him
What?
several times?
Where did everyone else go?
They saw that
a lot of
happening and
questions.
ducked away. They were like, nope.
She moved her box and easel. Oh, that's not a wig? Wow.
I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room. That's all.
So you'd have time to find the convict's haul of stolen goods?
But after you killed the young man, you still didn't move into his room.
I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused.
Why?
I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing.
Yeah, well... Mr. Garrett really has had a lot to put up with.
Yeah.
And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then, this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease.
Poor Mr. Natsume. What unfortunate timing.
Then 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road when the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance. But it wasn't to be.
No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police day and night. It if I remember rightly, Mr. Sholmes spent the whole day in there reading books.
Yeah, he did do that. I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why, on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove in his room.
Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. Hi, I'm still here. Hello. William Shamspeare? How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question. From Shakespeare. Wait. From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done. Imagine a little sad German boy on a box telling you you deserve to die.
Powerful.
At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget our conversations the night before Duncan died.
The gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive.
The gas supply?
Yes. Oh, da. No.
Ja.
Yeah, da is German. Or it's Russian. Yeah. The stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for no reason. I don't know what this fucking accent is.
I don't know either. That's no joke.
They say it's a convict's curse.
Oh, Duncan, please, don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is.
All right, then. If it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There
He
are spare...
almost got out.
Oh.
There are spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight?
No, I'd better not. We said we'd wait until we graduated before we told our parents, remember?
He was almost out, man.
Fucking 1 day from retirement ass.
Was that was the last we ever spoke? That very night he fell victim to the gas. If only I'd known it was going to happen, I'd have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. But instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school. But something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stooped Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road to Grub's Grubbery for some food, so I followed him. Whoa, is that just on my end?
It's stuttering a little bit on the right side. I don't know what's up with that.
It's pretty wild. And sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick at a quarrel with the publican. That place is cursed, I tell you! Cursed! The ghost of that convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me! I wake up in the middle of the night, freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked, no problem there. It's like I'm the problem. That's what they're thinking. But how could that be? Duncan was gone and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse? Then I remembered a rumor I'd heard about how the gas company go around investigating the gas installations.
A Roomba? Ah, you mean?
Yeah, everyone's heard the stories, it seems, as they go around checking the pipes. How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework. That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind. It just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I'd had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End.
Glad she explained. I was like, you bought it where? Who just sells a giant bottle of strychnine?
The black market in the East End.
A black market?
I'd never been. I just heard people talk about them. And you really can buy anything you think of there. Can I buy an orangutan? I have a
I have a
thing
murder
I gotta-
mystery I've gotta create.
I have to teach the orangutan how to shave. That's step one. I'm not joking. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident, or was it murder? And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected the man of tampering with, and wait.
If Mr. Shamspeare was innocent, nothing would come of what you'd done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly.
I found out the name of the man I suspected, William Shamspeare. And then I wrote him this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Rost. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anyone else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. If he'd done it, I knew this would vary him enough so he would be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked. And of course, Mr. Shamspeare followed the instructions to the letter. I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away. So I smeared a good amount of poison I had brought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done. It was all just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and that the culprit would get his just deserts. That was the wrong dessert. They spelled desert.
His
only had
just
one S.
deserts.
Me too, Sasato. The Macho Man guy in the background is like, I see we just let her go.
3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Yes, my lord.
I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that would subsequently follow the behind the scenes.
It has been a long road, my Nepalese friend.
Oh, yes.
I didn't call you learned, and one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you.
Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green,
Yeah, my lord.
you will be henceforth be stripped of your freedom as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shamspeare.
Yeah, I know.
And you, Mr. Shamspeare, you will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood. The subsequent attempted murder of Mr. Soseki Natsume here present.
Yeah.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes? Sorry, I spaced out.
yesterday at the hospital, when you and your friend stopped me from...
From ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle? When you're what?
Holy shit!
I wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind. To be or not to be, I suppose. And that is what that monologue's about.
Yeah.
That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems.
Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green.
Enjoy prison. And, oh,
And I'd like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamspeare didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least.
aw. I'm a happy German boy. Because of you, I choose life, not death. And now you've made the truth come out at last. Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green.
Me too, Sasato.
Me too, Sasato. Pretty sad. Normally, these aren't that sad. They're kind of comical.
And
This one, kind of sad.
Then occasionally you get one that's like, oh man, that really sucked for everybody.
That really sucked. Yeah. Last time in this affected was when Maya got fucking clonked immediately.
Mr. Soseki Natsume?
Yes, my lord! I'm here to ruin the moment.
The court declares that you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty.
What if they just say no?
They technically can, I think.
We are fully agreement, my lord. In that case, I hereby declare the defendant not guilty.
Woo.
Wow. Wow.
Confetti.
Let's go. Woo, a man is dead.
Oh
Woo.
god.
Ah, firework.
We
Who
can't
brought
do that
those?
inside.
The old Bailey's on fire.
Oh
Run.
no.
Court is adjourned.
Wow. And what good timing, too.
You know,
21st.
the 21st of February, 3:24 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber.
Forced.
I don't know. Do you want to just like finish this one? I feel like we're probably heading towards the to be continued.
Yeah, I assume that we can get there in like 8 minutes.
Let's see.
It can't be that much, right?
Probably
Not. Can't have that many more lines, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, at last.
He's finally got to be out of the game after this part.
Divine justice duly done. Good, because I'm getting sick of
Divine
this.
justice? My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache.
No, this has nothing to do with my mustache. Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Jones.
Ah,
Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Once again, you've saved me from doom.
I'm very happy to have been able to help, Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. You're second in almost as many days.
I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. And I fucking hate it! The city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and lived life through friendly old books.
Yeah, I was also kind of thinking that, Mulg. I'm like, man, did Shamspeare stab her?
Yeah, I thought that
Nope.
was gonna somehow tie it, but nope.
Nope. She still did it.
Just
by
unrelated.
accident.
You've had such a difficult time, haven't you?
But a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not?
You did. And I've seen more of life in this week than in all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog.
My dear fellow.
Hey, Minx, thanks for the raid. What's up, everybody? We just finished a case. It's Ace Attorney. Woo!
Ah, dear fellow, there was nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it.
Hi. What were you playing? What are you buying? What are you selling? Those last two questions are less relevant.
Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences.
Yes, I think you're right. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I hate England.
I hate this country. I need
It
to
sucks.
leave.
I want to go home. I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live.
Well said. I've come to feel the same way.
I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan.
What?
Just when we become friends here in England? What a terrible shame. Oh, I know, that does tug at my heartstrings, it really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. Maybe a poem about a cat. A novel of sorts, I suppose. Oh my, so you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume? How wonderful. Oh, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature.
Why not?
Like I
That is
just
precisely
rotated.
the definition, Mr. Mustache.
I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature.
What do you mean?
But as of now, all I know is that I'd like to try my hand at writing. I've no delusions of grandeur. I, for one, would love to read your work.
Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious. From a battle with the Reaper.
Ah, that's very true.
There is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor.
The desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand.
My goodness, yes, faced with such a terrifying prospect. Nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure. But that's not why I'm leaving, I mean it!
Objection. Oh, he said it.
Objection!
And that was the case we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Soseki-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It's like a Shakespeare showed up and said, oh, I just want to write a silly story about two lovers from rival families. It was on that reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar, and barely any time later, Susato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well, on the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill.
He was fine.
The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day. The day that we uncovered the loot hidden by that now deceased convict in his former lodgings. Oh, we're actually going to get to see it. I thought it would be a to be continued, though. What's the loot? What's the loot? I want to know so bad what the loot is. 24th February, 10:13 a.m., Mr. Natsume's room. Man, it's a real fucking mess in here. I forgot.
Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. How simply marvelous of you. To uncover the secret hiding place in just one day.
Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes?
You forgot about all the books.
As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson?
Grexy's been happily munching an agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley.
Happily. I think perhaps humorously it might be closer to the truth.
Gregson solemnly eating fish and chips the entire time, staring daggers into a pack of Schultz. I hate this fucking guy
Love
so
Gregson.
much.
I hate these fucking men.
So it transpires that the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling.
Isn't there a room above this one? Wouldn't the ceiling of... I know that
The
there's
ceiling's
like a
not
gap in
thin.
between.
Yeah. The floors have width.
And what's in it? What exactly is the loot?
Let us look then, if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's hole.
What is that? Oh,
A bloody hound collar.
bloody hound collar with a bee
It looks-
on it.
It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar.
A collar? It's huge, though. And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I could have it as a belt. This is evidence.
He got better. Oh, have you noticed on the inside there are some dark stains?
You don't think they could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it. On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt.
Then of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown.
What does it signify, do you think? Oh, I hadn't noticed that. I feel as though I've seen that emblem somewhere before, you know. Where could it have been?
That's enough of that, I think.
What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? All the color is drained from his face.
I don't have trauma.
Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, oughtn't you? It could be valuable evidence, after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key.
Ah, yes. Get your grubby hands off them, lot, and hand it over. Now.
I'd never seen a collar that large before, and all those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least not once I'd noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar. Those stains. Could they really have been blood? Probably.
To be continued. Damn it!
Nope.
Let me go!
Well, that
Stop
was a funny
talking,
case,
Iris.
wasn't it? But it's all
Shut
buttoned
up.
up now. And you look very pleased, Iris. I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating. You're talking about the latest installment of The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, I presume. The mystery of the knife in the mist, and the mustached man in the convict's curse, perhaps. I could make it a two-part story.
Oh, I can't wait.
Could you, if somebody was writing a story about an event you lived, would you?
Yeah, but Iris like makes half of it up, remember?
Yeah.
Or more.
A word, please, Iris.
Yes, what is it, Hurley?
I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question.
What? Why not? It's a great case.
I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your two titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear?
Yes.
Get shit on, kid.
And so it was that the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity. Now, looking back, I feel I understand. And I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Oh yeah, that is happening.
Yep.
The big old crystal tower or whatever.
Big old the crystal castle?
End.
We're done. Goodbye, everyone.
I wonder if that terrorist guy is gonna come back. Remember
Game's
that?
over. Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
He was planning to do something at the tower, I think. I seem to remember
Yes.
that. Anyway,
That
that will
sounds
do
right.
it for tonight. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll catch you tomorrow for, I think I wrote Fire Emblem on the schedule. Bye.
Bye.